Hi everyone, Dan from BetterCloud here. Today, I'd like to walk you through our external sharing workflows. Now, this is the second part of our external file sharing series, where in the first part, we took a look at alerts and what happens if those alerts go off. Well, if the alert goes off and is not connected to a workflow, we won't be able to proactively remediate the issue. So let's go ahead and take some of those alerts, add them to workflows, and be able to remediate issues that come up within our organization. In our first example here, a file has been shared externally from Google Drive. Now, you may be using a different cloud provider to share files outside your organization, and any file shared externally from Drive would be in violation of your company policy. If that's the case, here we have an alert that says a file was shared externally, and what do we want to do about it? In our event statement, I've gone ahead and removed the file collaborator. So any external person who was added to the file will be removed by using our dynamic selector field, picking the event is a Google user. That targets the user that was added. Then we can go ahead and target the file. This will remove the external user from the file. Notice we have the ability to also remove all collaborators from the file. In circumstances where a file has contained sensitive information, this may be an action that you want to take. We could also get very granular about our file sharing settings. Via the Set File Sharing Settings action in Google, I've gone ahead and targeted the file, then changed the sharing settings so that only specific people can edit the file. Again, in circumstances where a file should not be leaving your organization, this is something that you can do to ensure it's remediated properly, and only people within your organization have the ability to find and edit this file. Continuing on, we have a Microsoft 365 example. A OneDrive file has been shared externally, very similar to our Google use case. We have similar actions that can be taken. You can remove the OneDrive file direct access from the user by picking the file dynamically, then selecting the user by clicking Event Office 365 User, and then picking User. And you have the ability to remove all direct access, just as we did with Google. With 365, you could also edit the sharing settings. Here, I've gone ahead and removed user-specific links for external users, as well as any organization-wide links that may have been created on this file, giving everyone at an external organization access to the file. Let's take a look at a bit more of an egregious example. In Dropbox, we did a content scan and someone created a file that has a US passport in it. We can go ahead and say if that file is shared outside of the organization, let's delete that file sharing link as an action. We can also go ahead and, in this case, remove all collaborators from this external file. This is a file that has personally identifiable information, and in this case, this may be a good step to take. Finally, let's look at our most complex example. A SharePoint folder was shared externally to someone who's not a partner. Now, our alerts allow you to be very granular, and we set up an alert similar to this in our last video. A folder is shared externally from SharePoint. The owner of the folder is our Microsoft Partnership site. Again, the site itself is the owner of folders and files in SharePoint. SharePoint automatically adds a visitors group, so we're going to look for shared with does not contain the visitors group, and shared with does not contain Microsoft because we want to share things with Microsoft. So if it's shared with anyone else besides the visitors group or Microsoft, and this site is what's been shared, we can target that as part of our workflow. So this alert goes off, and we can then go ahead and remove access to the folder to anyone that should not have access. So if this user is not at Microsoft and is added to that Microsoft partnership site, we can target them. In our next video, we'll go ahead and take a deeper look at guest access into your organization and how you can remediate those issues. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.